pisses me off that you said something about that she needs to embody Coretta Scott King. My guy, if you understood that you were so much a part of this culture, then why don't you try to be with somebody who can understand where you are in this culture? Barack Obama did not go find Karen A.
Yeah, he didn't.
MLK didn't go find Ashley, whatever the fuck, Whitmire.
Orlovsky.
You know what I'm saying? It didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't happen. So why are you over here getting the most European white woman that you can find who just knows the arts and try to expect her to understand what you have to lose as a black man in America who is on the trajectory of greatness.
Yeah.
You dumb, ignorant Negro.
Well, welcome back to another episode of The Great Deliberators. I am one of your hosts, Mr. Liberator Rose.
It's your boy DK.
And our boy Bean, we still gonna lift him up in prayer. Make sure y'all sending out that positive energy, because if you know, you know. Actually, he just tried to call.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get him on the phone, man. So we may take a pause here in a short second or two if he calls back to try to get him on the phone so that way we can hear from him, man. With that being said, though, how's everybody doing this week, man?
Man, I'm good. I really have no complaints. Should be getting hopefully 2 more clients. I need to get back in the gym.
Boy, you getting this work, man. Hey, drop that round of applause, man. Go ahead, man. Put that on blast.
We do what we do.
Put that on blast.
Besides that, man, I'm waiting for tomorrow. The Eagles play tomorrow. Okay. As y'all can see in the background. I know y'all see all my wine bottles back here.
Yo, shout out to my guy, dog.
hey, I'm a fan for real.
Yo, hey, I appreciate that. Also, shout out to the Houston Texans, baby, for doing the damn thing. Putting on for the city. I appreciate that. It's a new day. It's a new era. I
was in the building. Let me tell you.
My boy was there.
It was live. The halftime show was dope.
Yeah.
Slim Thug, Paul Wall.
Yeah, let's turn up.
Mike Jones, Bum B.
Yeah.
It was a dope halftime show. It was a good time.
Okay. If you happen to be a Dallas Cowboy fan, I don't feel bad for you. But you had a tough day. Man. It was ugly.
Bad.
It was ugly, man. So it's a new day for y'all tomorrow too, because everybody gone. Jerry,
I guess y'all
can fire himself.
Y'all about to start looking at the draft, honestly. So draft is coming in a couple months, and
I don't know.
Hopefully you'll get somewhere between 15 and 18, I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
and that's it.
That's all you can hope for. Because the roster's kind of stuck. And
really, if you go get a new head coach, that's another waste of a year, pretty much.
I don't know, man. Not to get too deep into it, but we've seen head coaches come in and change complete locker rooms. So be the same setup.
But look at the Broncos. We thought they was sweet, and then all of a sudden,
but that was an entirely different situation. All right, but here we don't want to get into it too much. All right, man. So we got a show for y'all today. Once again, the podcast guides spared no expense and dropped us with more content.
Thank you.
Which again we gonna repurpose, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? As long as it's coming to us, I mean, we gonna talk about it. If it's here, you feel me?
Come on. Shoot, we need things to talk about, and it seemed like every week somebody doing something. So
we appreciate that.
If y'all haven't heard, Stephen A. Smith, lead Disney employee of the month,
the head in charge.
head Negro in charge over there at Disney.
At least on the camera.
My guy has an issue with Jason Whitlock, and the crazy thing is, I didn't even know Jason Whitlock was still active.
I knew he was active. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know he was really active.
Yeah, I knew he was active, but I mean, in terms of actual following, he ain't really all that active. But again,
bro, he's on something called The Flame.
Is Blaze
my
TV?
bad. Blaze TV.
Yeah. I mean, look, he got a pod.
It's like a hella Christian conservative / sports.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It's the jack of all trades.
I'm not knocking anybody in their hustle, so get it how you need to. But
I mean, look. Damn. He getting enough views to support his way of living. So in which case, hey.
So let's get to the real question of it. Let's get to the crux.
Well, hold on, wait. Before we get into everything though, before we get into all that, I gotta tell a quick story here real quick, man, because if you are someone who is a staunch, I'm gonna take a play out of Jason Whitlock playbook. If you are someone who is a staunch police supporter, then I ask you for just a second to hear me out and listen to the story so I can kind of explain not just the issue that the Black community has with policing, but I think an issue that like almost everyone now, every community is starting to wake up to. So my brother's car he's been riding around with expired plates. Not plates, but he was given a tag, when you first go buy it. He's had it for about a year. He bought it from Carvana. Now Carvana, after some research, because my brother tried to get his plates and he's realizing like, yo, what's taking so long? Anyway, he does some research and come to find out, this is like a known problem with Carvana. Like, you buy a car from them, but they're just not, they're very mismanaged and they just don't get the stuff to you when you're supposed to. You send paperwork in, they say they didn't either receive it, blase, back and forth. But either way, long story short is they're just not a well managed, company. So if Carvana happens to be a public company and you got money in their stock, you might want to skedaddle up out of there because that's a sinking ship. But anyway, long story short, to get into the story here. So my brother has come to stay with me. He parks his car on the street. Over the weekend of the New Year's Eve weekend, he came on Friday and he saw a sticker on his car saying like, hey, this car they believe the car has been abandoned. They put something on there such as like this, we're not recognize this as an abandoned car. You have until January 2nd to get this thing out of here. Otherwise, we're going to tow it. Okay. Well, my brother's thinking, okay, well, that's cool because when they get here on the 2nd, ain't going to be no car here because he goes to work every day from 4:30 in the morning till 3 in the evening, right? And so I was all like, yeah. And I had a whole bunch of family over. I was all like, we'll just move it. We'll just have you park it in the driveway so they can see that it's been moved. So we have a great weekend. January 1st comes, New Year's, all positive vibes, right? All of a sudden I hear some banging on the door, right? So I'm slow to get up and I hear like some super banging. And then, so I rush to their door. It's my next door neighbor telling me, hey, they about to tow your car. I look out, they getting ready to tow my brother's car. And I'm all like, well, they told me he had till the 2nd. You know what I'm saying? So I go get my brother, get Max. We run outside. Hey, like, yo, what's going on? She was all like, yo, this car sits here all day. It doesn't move. It's abandoned and da-da-da-da. And then my brother was all like, no, like I go to work. She was all like, well, it ain't got no insurance, nothing. And I was all like, no, I got insurance. I can pull it up right now. We can show you all that. And she was all like, well, that still doesn't matter. It's been a year. You ain't got no place yet. And I was all like, yeah, but here's the issue. The thing's been going on with Carvana. We explained the situation to her. I'm all like, I understand. Honestly, a year has been too long. I got on him about it as well. Problem is he had a little issue with the service light or whatever. I was all like, I've been slow on getting it fixed. That's my fault. I understand. But I assure you, it's got insurance. And hey, we run into the person that he had until tomorrow anyway. And she was all like, because I drive through here all the time and I see this car here all the time.
Dang, why y'all like,
bro? And I'm like, I'm like, man, with no, I don't mean to be disrespectful.
Even if you do drive here, even if it is abandoned, so like, bro, it's on our driveway. Can there not be
well, it wasn't in the driveway. It's on the street, but it's in front of our house. But here's my point. So I'm explaining it. I'm like, yo, I mean, no disrespect, but that's just not possible, man. I'm like, he goes to work every day from 4:30 to 3. Like he works Monday through Friday. And honestly, he works most Saturdays. I mean, like he works like 20 hours overtime a week. And she was all like, oh, well, so she's real defensive at this point, being aggravated.
It's like she's targeting this vehicle, bro.
And so I'm like, okay, well, like, here's the deal. Do we got to go through all this? Because the reality here is y'all going to tow it and we're going to go get it out the impound anyway.
And then bring it right back here.
Bring it right back here. So, I mean, like, how can we avoid the situation? So we wound up having to pay a drop fee. Now, I explain the situation because I want y'all to understand here where I'm coming from. Now, that was just our situation, but imagine a situation here where it is someone's car who has an outdated registration sticker, and it's somebody whose transmission is jacked up on their car, right? And you one check away from being able to finally take it to the shop,
even if you 2 checks away,
it fixed. But I'm saying, right, like now you gonna tow it and set me back $3, $4, $5, $6
to put it right back where it was.
You know what I'm saying?
To put it right back where it was.
Now you done messed up my life and all that. And you could have came and knocked on the door
just to find out
and asked what's going on with the vehicle. So my point is when we be trying to explain things like and this ain't even like I said, this ain't a black community thing. This is a policing thing. When we try to explain like, yo, man, like policing in America ain't what y'all make it seem like it is in movies. Like in the real world, there's just a function of society in a manner that doesn't care about you as a human. Because see, the human thing, because see, police are people, they empathize and understand that, like, yo, let me go figure out what's going on here, right? Yeah. Because you're talking about a 2018 Jeep Commander. Like, you ain't talking about some little 98 Pinto or some shit, you know what I'm saying, that's rusted out, got dirt all over it, look like it ain't never been washed a day in his life, you know what I'm saying? It's all flats and nothing. You talking about a 2018 Jeep Commander. All you gotta do,
still got pollen on it, bro. That's wild.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy to me that, like, as a person, you don't say to yourself, yo, let me figure out what's going on with this thing, because I don't want to tow someone's vehicle and there's really a reason as to why it's sitting here.
My thing is, why is it bothering you that much?
Bro.
Why is this keeping you up at night?
It's a small possibility that somebody from the HOA called it in. You know what I'm saying? And she's just bullshitting, you know?
But I'm saying you would still just put a letter from the HOA and call it a day.
Bro, I'm saying, right? And so, and you know, there's personal accountability.
But you start lying and say that I drive by it all the time. It's cap. Like,
we know you lying. Like, there's no way. He go to work. And so I could tell the more we started.
And then now I got to pay a $50 drop fee.
Yeah. She say this, we knocking this out. And like, you could tell the more we talk, she's getting more and more defensive. I'm like, all right, I don't want this shit to go left. There's only two ways that usually ends. And either way, I just need to get this car to stay here. I don't need to get towed. So I like, let me appeal.
So they had already lifted it.
Bro, yeah, bro. They, you know how I told truck drivers go. As soon as they hook it, you got to pay a drop fee. As soon as you hook it. Now, I don't know how it works when the police are trying to impound your shit. You know what I'm saying? When the tow truck about to take it, they'll always negotiate the drop fee with you. I ain't know if, like, she had to take it.
How much was your drop fee?
It was $100. No, it was just to drop it, bro, which is crazy. But I'm like, it is what it is, right? But see, it's experiences like this that leave a negative impression. Now, you can say what you want, but I'm saying my experience is the experience of a lot of people. And that's the problem. The problem is when we expect for police officers to empathize and see and appeal to their human nature, a lot of times they really ain't on that type of energy. So automatically we walk outside and she running and gunning and jumping in on the defense, and we like, yo, hold on, wait, we just trying to figure out how we can keep this here. Yeah. And like, I'm being met with aggression that we ain't even coming her with. You see what I'm saying? And on top of that, her capping in line and saying all this extra shit that we know isn't true. But again, you know what I'm saying? I'm just a person living here in America. So, you know, I just wanted to tell this story so that way people can have a better understanding of what it is that we be talking about when we say, like, yo, the police really ain't your friend. And like, in my experience, 9 times out of 10, they really ain't there to help you unless it's like a tragedy. You know what I'm saying? Something that absolutely appeals to their better nature.
Well, hopefully that's the last incident that you or your loved ones will have in 2024.
Yeah. But positive vibes only, baby.
The reality is it is out there. So okay. I'm glad that was all it took, with just $100.
Yeah, it worked out. You know what I'm saying? Because you're talking a minimum of $250. Like the cheapest I've ever heard anyone to get it out the pound. Like, then,
man, you talking possibility of somebody becoming emotionally charged and like saying something or doing something,
bro. I'm saying
at the time, and the police officer decides to.
Like, imagine if your life is like, I'm saying, like, dead ass. Imagine if ain't nothing going right in your life.
What your brother could be going through, or bro, what you could be going through.
That is the entire argument here.
You come out and then your car is being towed. Like,
you don't know what people going through in life, bro. And you telling me, like, okay, even if you wanted to slap me with a ticket, all right, cool, but you about to tow it? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's wild.
Now, if I don't get to work tomorrow, if I don't have the money right now that I can grab it, and I don't get to work tomorrow, I lose my job. Or if I lose my job, or now I have to start Ubering, and then that's more time that is more money is being spent because you got to hold on to my vehicle.
Gang.
Because it's just a lot.
Come on, man. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, play the scenario in your head. How are you benefiting people? How are you helping anybody by doing this?
Even if it was abandoned.
Bro.
Even if it was worst case scenario, what you said.
I'm saying you confirm it's abandoned, though. You get what I'm saying? Like, what if my brother...
It's crazy that somebody can just say something's abandoned.
No, what if he was on vacation? No, what if I was on vacation? Let's say it was my car. You know what I'm saying? I had shit in the garage. I need to park it out here on the street. You gonna tow it, bro? That's wild to me, man. It's crazy. But, you know, I'm just, you know what I'm saying, a person with, you know what I'm saying, one-off experiences that only happen one time a year. Okay?
All right.
Let's go ahead. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Hold on, wait. We want to hit the meat and potatoes first, or we want to kind of knock this Johnathan Majors thing out the way?
Let's knock the Johnathan Majors.
Majors. Okay. Hate to bring it back up, y'all, but
no, don't hate to bring it up. I'm glad to bring it up now. I'm glad.
I mean, I guess right, because we have an interview. We finally heard.
You can go first.
We kind of heard his side of the story.
Yes, and I'm glad that Matter of fact, going forward, what we need to start doing is reserving opinions as best as we can. It's hard because running a podcast,
we got to talk about
kind of give our opinion.
We got to
sometimes prematurely, right?
Yeah.
But I wish I would have reserved my opinion because I'm going to recant. I'm recanting.
It's crazy how like the only thing, what we said last week.
The only thing I'm holding on to, is that this man will not date a European woman at all. I can tell you that, guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? If I could put money into that, I would do it. He is not talking to, touching, affiliating with any European woman going forward.
Okay.
But besides that, I'm recanting everything I have to say about this man, Johnathan Majors.
Here's what I would tell you.
But go ahead.
Because I'm going to read it here a little bit later. But if you haven't seen the Johnathan Majors interview.
It's not that long.
It's like 15, I think it's 15 minutes.
What I watch is like 10. So there's probably something out there with the highlights.
He did an interview with either Good Morning America or
it was NBC.
NBC.
Like that.
Well, he did it with one in the morning talk people.
Which is stupid. You should have got on Club Shay Shay. You should have done something like that, in my opinion. Just something where it's cool, relaxed. Like let's get to know you, Johnathan Majors, first. Like before we even get to the subject, where are you from? How did you get into acting?
I get it.
Like humanize yourself.
But hear me out here for a second though. If we keep it in the buck, though Club Shay Shay is popping and he's doing well.
You ain't even got to do Club Shay Shay, but you get him like that type of vibe.
I got you, but he has to be on a platform, if we keep it in the buck here, that white people gonna see. Okay? He had to be like mainstream.
I'm glad you don't speak first. I'm glad you said it.
I'm saying.
I'm glad you said it because I think, go ahead.
I'm saying, like, I feel like he needed to appeal because in the court of black people, like we've all before this.
Okay.
We had already.
I was gonna say.
We had already decided, the justice system is bugging. They are wilding. They're just doing what they do all the time. Don't care about facts or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that there is actually, because you saw the text message between him and old girl, right?
Yep.
Okay. Even without that, the mannerism and demeanor of him just felt like somebody who was trying very hard to seem like not them. I didn't feel like I was getting a real Johnathan Majors. You get what I'm saying? Like I felt like it borderline arrogant, you know what I'm saying? But it's like he took accountability on like one thing, but
what
ultimately,
do you take accountability on?
Huh?
What do you take accountability on?
With old girl. Remember the chick that saw the what sparked the whole thing was her seeing the text message from another girl?
That he shouldn't, that he cheated?
Yeah. That like, he shouldn't have did that, whatever.
Is that what you're calling accountability, bro?
I mean, he said he was wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying, dog? Listen. Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's an alley-oop.
But if you're saying that, then I guess he also took accountability that he should have no longer been dating her.
I don't think he did
say that too, right? So I guess he's also taking accountability that he shouldn't have been with her.
I mean, he didn't drive hard on that. Like, to me, that's what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear, hey, I should have got out of that a long time ago.
He said it.
I mean, kind of, but like, I don't know. I just didn't feel like he drove that point home.
But go ahead and land. Go ahead and land. Because I'm about to eviscerate. I'm about to eviscerate this guy.
Man, it's like, listen, but at the end of the day, I would say this, okay? Because I can't decide whether or not he was being truthful. All I know is if that really was the real him, it was very unimpressionable and it didn't leave anything to me. It just left me kind of meh. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, he came out of that looking much worse than before he went in there.
All right.
Oh, here we go, y'all.
So, Johnathan Majors, man, I want to start off by saying that I had like profound respect for him, mainly because he was a man of color, respectfully.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I definitely do everything I can to support people who look like me in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And I gave him grace because at first I was just kind of like, dang, this might be similar to Deshaun Watson. We brought this up before. When the first person comes at, somebody of that on the social ladder of things, you just feel like, okay, somebody's just throwing some dirt.
Yeah.
Let's see if it sticks. And when we started seeing things like the video and how the interaction went. It was a lot of like cracks, and it was just like, nah, this doesn't. I didn't really hear of like multiple women coming out and saying that this is something that has been done in the past. I defended this man a lot. A lot.
Yeah. You ain't the only one, man.
That interview, before even seeing the text messages, I called you as I started watching the interview. I think you texted it to me and I told you I was actually watching it that morning on my way to work, whatever. So we talked to each other when I was on my way to work, maybe like 5-10 minutes. And I immediately thought to myself is that like his demeanor, his nonverbals is just like, it's like somebody trying to wiggle their way out of just like the truth.
Dog, it just felt like it wasn't being real.
It was nothing authentic about it. But see, even then, you kind of like, all right, you talking like somebody who's like, I can see why you shouldn't get on the stand. I can see why you wouldn't. I can see why. In my opinion, me and you talked about this. Why would you even get on something like that so early? Where you're pretty much being like, you're on the stand and you're trying to convince the public of court opinion on this matter. You should have just waited. You should have went ghost for like a year if that's the case. If this is what your response was gonna be on a Dateline type interview where you're going to be bombarded with questions and the expectation is we're going to speak specifically solely on this issue.
And they're not dodging
That's
nothing.
a problem. The reason why I brought up Club Shay Shay is because now you talked about the demographic or the target audience that he was trying to reach. That to me is the crux of it all.
Yeah.
Your issue is that you are too worried about this European-based target audience.
Okay.
That's the problem. That's the problem. And the reason why I say that is because if you was true to what you are talking about, even in some of these things that were picked up and recorded about the culture, and crazy is tomorrow is MLK Day. Yeah. And I'm so glad that it is because you told this woman that she needs to be more have some type of, embody Coretta Scott King, embody a great woman like Michelle Obama. Bro, you are talking to a European white woman in the arts.
It might be
in the arts.
It might be
in the arts. This is not even like a technical, white woman who's maybe been down for the culture or has a history of being a woman for the culture or something like that, or is within the culture. My guy, and I'm trying my hardest because I'm trying not to say the N-word or curse because we're trying to really make money off of this, push this. But bro, what the hell are you talking about? How do you tell this white woman to try to understand the black plight in America for decades? For decades.
No,
we're not even talking about a George Floyd situation that just happened maybe a year or two ago. Yeah. You want her to go back and be a woman of Coretta Scott King? You ignorant Negro. What are you talking about? Yeah. You worry too much about what these European white folks got to say. Yeah. And I work with them. They pay me. So I have no problem
zero.
working with white people. That is not the issue. But it pisses me off that you have this like identity crisis that when it's time to be in a struggle, let me go get the black woman and put her beside me.
Yeah.
It pisses me off that you said something about that she needs to embody Coretta Scott King. My guy, if you understood that you were so much a part of this culture, then why don't you try to be with somebody who can understand where you are in this culture? Barack Obama did not go find Karen A.
Yeah, he didn't.
MLK didn't go find Ashley, whatever the fuck, Whitmire.
Orlovsky.
You know what I'm saying? It didn't happen. Mm-hmm. It didn't happen. So why are you over here getting the most European white woman that you can find who just knows the arts and try to expect her to understand what you have to lose as a black man in America who is on the trajectory of greatness. Yeah. You dumb, ignorant Negro. And then you get on an interview and then you call this new black woman that you've only been with for a couple of months that she's my Coretta. Bro, if you shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Yo.
Shut up, dog. Bro. Stop talking.
Yo,
stop talking. First, the white woman was damn near your Coretta. Yeah. You was trying to mold her into your Coretta. You just got with this one who you've only been with for a couple of months, and she's only been with you at the worst part of your life for a couple of months, and you still fumbling, still, and all of a sudden she's your Coretta. Dog, I think you just need just take a vacation, my guy.
Dog, take a break.
Take a vacation.
Hey, hold on, wait. Hey, hold on before you get any further. Here's my thing. On one hand, I also think that he's a little too fixated on his own image of what he's trying to embody.
Because he wants to be a part of this European white culture so bad. He wants them to accept him. And what I'm saying is, I get it. Be your authentic you. And I'm not saying it's okay for not wanting people to accept you. Yeah. That is not it. Bro, I do this, and if some people don't like the way that I talk or the way I move or whatever the case may be, hey, politely tell me how I can better myself. Yeah. If you're just somebody that's going to hate, by all means, like the video. I appreciate you watching, but I can give a damn about your opinion. Yeah. But, bro, you can't move at the beat of a whole nother, group of people's drum. Bro, you are a black man that is trying to compare themselves to Barack and MLK, which, by the way, is disrespectful. It's disrespectful. Wow. It is honest, bro. I'm cool. You know what? Because I'm okay. I'm okay with somebody wanting to be that much of a great individual. Yeah. So it's okay to wake up today and be man, I'm gonna be the Barack. I'm gonna be what Barack Obama was. Is of the day, whatever the case may be. You trying to put yourself on that pedestal. I get it. Go out there and get them 100 push-ups in it. Yeah. And get that goal. You know what I'm saying? But bro, if you don't stop this whole every woman that you with is now Coretta, it's kind of giving me narcissistic, wild ass, bro, I firmly, and okay, fine. Let's stop there. Let's stop there. I'm not even done. Let's stop there. For you to say that you did not, the woman asked you, and by the woman, I mean the reporter or the interviewer asked him, did you hurt this woman or did you cause injury or whatever? And his response was, I don't know exactly what he said. Yes or no question. Yes or no question. He pretty much denied that there was no way that he could have done it. No. Now, the video that I watched, it is very easy to tell that, bro, you picked her up easily to try to put her back in a vehicle. You picked her up like she weighed 80 pounds. I don't know how much she weighed, but you picked her up with ease. Yeah. Oh, she's skinny. And stuffed her back into a vehicle. It is I saw her head hit the top of the car. You know what I'm saying? It is very easily be able to say that you probably could have caused something. Why don't you just flat out say that you just either don't recall, or you know what I'm saying, if you were if anything were to happen, it was done because you were trying to protect yourself or protect your property. Well,
see, here's the issue that I have, right? Because she asked him about the injury behind her ear and how she hurt her head, and it was in that moment where he paused, and it just felt weird because he paused, he looked down, and then 3 seconds later he was all like, I wish I knew. Huh?
Come on, bro.
Bro, what?
Come on, bro.
Let me explain you something, dog. There's two ways you can react to me when you are absolutely trying to be truthful, right? You're clear, calm, and concise, and just there's no fluttering in what you're saying. You're recalling the points as you remember them. And then there are the people who are just flat out truthful to almost to a fault where they look bad, where it's all man, I wish I knew. I don't know how she got that injury. Okay. It's all a blur. I got in the car. I took off running. Those are the two ways you respond, because when you really don't know, it is evident in your mannerism and how you talk, bro. The way he paused.
And the crazy thing is you're an actor. You're an actor. You are such a great actor that you were about to be headlined. You were headlined on movies. Bro. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, and you got either you are not listening to your lawyers, or you hired some dumb lawyers to be around. Because I don't understand.
Did you see the video I sent you?
I don't know what
man spent $20 million on his legal
case. I don't understand how you weren't coached if I was brought up into this kind of situation, just my family alone, we are doing practice interviews, bro. We're doing practice interviews for free. Let alone if I'm paying somebody hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars to defend me. We're gonna go through some practice interviews of what questions am I gonna be asked, and what am I gonna say, how I should ask, answer said questions. But I'm gonna tell you what I really think happened that night. I think their relationship is obvious was a very tumultuous one.
Oh.
It was one that was just built on turmoil. It was toxic to the core.
Yeah.
It is obvious. The fact that you have to the fact that you're explaining to a European white woman that she needs to be Coretta Scott King or Michelle Obama lets me know that the relationship you're in does not need to be one that you're in.
Oh,
period.
Yeah, clearly.
If I have to explain to a woman while you're watching me for $13.99 at your nearest AMC, you know what I'm saying, headlining movies, that, hey, what we cannot do in public is act an ass.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Because I'm trying to be great and I'm on the way to be great. It's obvious that I'm on the way to be great. You're now known as my girlfriend type of thing. Like, you're now known as that like, you're my plus one. That is damn near your title at this point.
Yeah.
We got to know how to act when we go out. You know what I'm saying? When we say Michelle, we always say what afterwards? Obama, right? So you're the first lady. So you need to act accordingly. When we say Coretta, we don't just say Coretta. It's actually disrespectful because people don't just say Coretta.
Mm-hmm.
They say Coretta Scott King.
Yeah.
Right? So it's one of those things that you just put out there. I think that the moment that he opened that door, because it was his side of the door.
Yeah.
The moment he opened that door and realized that he is now in a public space where people are viewing him, I think his first reaction was, get her back into the car.
Yeah.
And let me, you know what I'm saying, act like this never happened before I get identified as this individual. But I think once it was kind of made that it was too much, he started running. And even when he was running, it wasn't like he was running for dear life. Let's stop all that talk.
Yeah.
Let's stop that. Let's stop that.
Look like tag.
Let's stop that. I'm going to tell y'all this right now. I'll give him one frame where he's running and she is in the same frame with him.
Yeah.
Anytime that we're now talking about a second frame from another vantage point, there's no reason why we should see him running and her running within the same frame.
Yeah.
I'm telling you this as a black man, as an African American, as somebody who is, I would say, above average fit. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This guy.
Yeah.
Who just beat up Creed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's no reason why when he take off,
he shouldn't
because he's running for dear life, that this semi-drunk white woman is in the same frame with him.
Mm-hmm.
You running a 4.40 and she's running a 4.6? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Is that what's happening here? Come on, bro.
Okay.
Come on, bro.
No, I got you.
I'm being for real.
No, I
think what he was trying to do, he knew at that moment, he has to make this look like
she's chasing him.
I am now the victim.
Yeah. Okay.
So he went from the aggressor, hey, get your ass back in the car. Because I can tell you that's exactly what he's telling her as he's lifting her up to put her in the car.
Yeah.
Get your ass back in here. Like any dude would probably get into it. You know, I'm sure you and your wife have gotten into it. I'm not saying it's gotten physical. But if it did, when I'm looking at that video, I wouldn't be tomorrow be like, hey man, we can't be friends no more because you putting your hands. I would be like, hey,
you had an out-of-pocket moment.
That was a little bit too much.
Yeah.
You know,
I know you ain't abusive,
but that was a little bit too much. Calm down. That's what I would say. If that was him and his sister, I would be like, okay, that was a little bit too much.
Yeah.
That's what we would have hoped Chris Brown and Rihanna to be.
Yeah.
In a vehicle. You know what I'm saying? That situation wasn't that bad. Was it bad? Did it need to happen? No. Everybody keep their hands to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's ultimately what I would say if I'm an officer. All right, listen, go home. You need to go home. Y'all don't need to be with each other tonight. It seems as if there's some alcohol involved. I'm not going to arrest anybody unless somebody wants me to press charges, but everybody needs to keep them hands to themselves.
Yeah.
All right, ma'am, we're going to go in an Uber. Is this your driver? Okay, you're going to go with him and that's it. We're going to part ways. But
just correct you. You can't do that no more. Even if you get called out now, like police officers, even if she doesn't want to press charges, they still got to take it.
Okay, in a perfect world. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Like, it just wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But when I'm listening to his interview, I'm telling myself, you know what, man? You needed to be found guilty of something. You needed to be found guilty of something because I don't think you are a victim. At least not the victim that you're trying to portray.
Well, okay. Hold on, wait before you go any further. Because it's interesting that you bring that up. Because if y'all hadn't seen the interview, I'm going to go ahead and pull up these text messages from the interview that they had. And this happened a year ago. Well, over a year ago now. This is from September of 2022. Text message read. So she says in the first part of the text messages, it's from him. I'm sorry. He says, it starts out with, it's just fake. And I fear you have no perspective of what could happen if you go to the hospital. They will ask you questions as I don't think you actually protect us, it could lead to an investigation, even if you do lie and they suspect something. She texts back, I will tell the doctor I bumped my head. If I go, I'm going to give it one more day, but I can't sleep and I need some stronger painkillers. That's all.
That's how you know she already setting you up, bro.
Why would I want to tell them what really happened when it's clear I want to be with you? Now, there's more. She said that. That is pretty damning, y'all.
Bro. As soon as I would read something like that, I'm telling you right now, I would cease communication. Like, okay, where are you at? Let me, let's go fly to Barbados. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let's go. Like, hey, baby, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
let's just take the next week, just me and you. Let's go 0 dark 30. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He knew what was up. This is to me not even the first time that they've been in this kind of interaction.
Hold on, wait, because here's my thing, dog. Because this is where like I take the turn right after reading the text messages, because I believe that it wasn't even her. I think he's the manipulator. Let me keep reading here so you can see what I'm saying. He puts, I feel like you want to be together. You want to be together as in to not embarrass yourself for everything you said to your friends and family. Last night, I considered killing myself versus coming home. You said you need love last night, and I put my feelings aside and tried to give you that. I need love too. Or maybe I'm such a monster and horrible man that I don't deserve it and should just kill myself. This way of existence is miserable. I want to die.
I might get canceled. Do you want my opinion, or should I just let you go?
No, don't do it.
I might get canceled.
Hold on, let me finish reading it real quick.
Okay.
It says, I will not go to the doctor if you don't feel safe with me doing so, or don't trust me to. I promise I would never mention you, and I understand your fear.
I might get canceled.
He replies, you can't reject love if there is no real love. It's just lip service. I gave you love last night, and this morning before I go out to bed, when you got up, you were not full of love at all. I don't feel it at all. You could have just given me a hug or walked close to me or asked me if you could give me a hug, not the other way around, so and so forth. And after that, again, he says, I don't have it up here, but the other message after that, he says, and I just want to kill myself. I'm just going to kill myself.
Yeah. So I want to preface everything I'm about to say by, I think mental health is very serious. And I think that if you are somebody that ever wants to harm themselves in any way, shape, or form, you should reach out to a particular, I don't even want to say the words, I don't know how YouTube will monetize that or pick that up, but a self-harm hotline in any way, shape, or form, or call 911. He's a narcissist. It's very obvious.
Yeah, it's manipulative.
He has, if you want to off yourself, respectfully, just go ahead and do it.
I mean, yeah, don't drag people into it.
Let me tell you something. Don't text me that you want to off yourself and think that, I'm going to jump up and like go help.
In the manner of
this, giving context or something like this, you've done something wrong. And for me not to go and defend myself or go seek help for the actions that maybe you took for whatever you did, you are now going to hold me,
emotionally hostage, because that's essentially what he's doing in this moment.
Hold me hostage by saying that you're gonna off yourself.
Yeah,
it's very manipulative. But I will tell you that Johnathan Majors. This is why I say that it's a good thing that he needs to go sit down, and it's a good thing that he's found guilty of something. I think he's the one that brought these text messages out, if I'm not mistaken. Or
they came out in trial.
They came out in trial. Okay. Yeah. Johnathan Majors, I think it's all a show. Even this whole making good thing, to me, it's all a show.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a show.
It's even him bringing up the Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama. It just lets me know. All of this is a show. You wanting to placate this black culture is a show. It is all a show. I'm not going to say that he's not suicidal, because he probably is.
I mean, who knows, right?
He probably is.
Who knows?
And I think that, you got to be very careful, because sometimes when somebody's on top of the world and they no longer are, those are the people who are most vulnerable to doing something like that.
Yeah.
I know I've had a lot and I've lost a lot, and I feel like I'm now getting to a point where I'm, I have a manageable amount. Johnathan Majors, bro, I don't think I need to see him for another 2 years. I think he really does need to take a 2-year hiatus and understand that, like, there's more to life than what you are trying to portray. And you need to just be you. You need to do what Dave...
Well, find you, because
I was going to say, you need to do what Dave Chappelle did.
Yeah,
you need to take some time.
An identity crisis.
You need to take some time and just figure... Because what Dave Chappelle did was, in hindsight, was the best thing that ever happened to him as a human being.
Yeah.
We talk about him not getting the $50 million, and we may discuss like whether or not it was because of him on drugs, which I believe him that he wasn't. I think that, it was the powers that be were trying to shut him out or silence him or make him seem a certain type of way. But nonetheless, like he handled it the perfect way. Okay, let me get out of here.
Yeah.
And just go over here and just get out of everybody's way and just find myself. Johnathan Majors needs about 2 to 3 years. Like, he really does need that, bro. Because even if he does get another role that is major, I think that is not going to fix the problem. It goes back to the Ja Morant type of situation.
Hold on again, because the issue here is one, I don't want to put a time frame on what he needs. But what I will say is this, though, is what you're preaching right now is essentially like kind of a testament to, I won't say a testament, but it's kind of a parable of life. Like, sometimes you really, like, if you dealing with a problem at work, right, and you know what I'm saying, you've been struggling with it, you're trying to fix it, you're a coder, right? Like, you coder, sometimes you got to stop. You know what I'm saying? Go take your little 15-minute break, and then come back, right? Because, like, you're spiraling and, like, everything you're doing just isn't working. And so, like, now you need to take a refresh. I don't know how long Johnathan Majors needs, but it's clear and it's obvious that Johnathan Majors doesn't really even know who he is.
Like, he's losing himself.
He has a picture of what he envisions himself as, and who knows if this rise to fame has only catapulted that identity crisis within him. But he does need to take some time away.
But he's so aware, bro.
I don't know if
he's so aware. I'm telling you, the scenario that I put before you about him wanting to put her in that car because he did not want people to see what was happening, and immediately to know.
But that's in the moment, immediately
to know that, like, all right, I got to go straight victim mode. He did it perfectly. He did it perfectly.
But again, that's manipulative.
Look, and that's what I'm saying.
He's playing the victim here, and she got a head injury.
But he's aware.
Okay. Right.
He's aware. You get what I'm saying? And that's what's so scary, because he's manipulating. For you to manipulate it means that you have to be aware of something that you don't want it to go down that particular road.
Well, the only issue here is now we're on a...
Because I'm going to give you a scenario if it was me.
Well, hold on. Before you go in, because let's not take too much more time up on this, but the only issue we're delving into now is now we can remove the identity crisis thing, and now we're teetering on full-blown narcissist and just an abusive person in general. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I think we're there.
Going down. Well, see, then in that case, it's a lot worse than just finding yourself, right? Because a lost and confused person needs to find themselves. But someone who is full-blown narcissist, abusive, you know what I'm saying, and actively aware of how it is that they act, is just a bad person, bro.
Bro, I think we're at a place where I think Johnathan Majors is finding himself, in my opinion, to be that bad person. I'm not going to say that bad as, like the Puff Daddies and all that, but he's starting to seem to me.
Maybe he wasn't aware of how bad of a person he was.
Yes, I still think I still think that his identity crisis is that he wants to still be like this good guy, and that's why I say, bro, if that's what you want to be,
I'm saying, but
take some time away, because
but not be fully aware of how bad
if your wife caught you cheating from your cell phone in the car, you in the same situation as Johnathan Majors, bro. You might as well let her keep the phone at this point. You might as well let her keep the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Okay, she snatched the phone, so what? Keep it. Johnathan Majors, you obviously knew that the kind of power that you had and what you had to lose. Let me tell you something. In that situation, let her keep it.
Yeah.
Let her keep the phone. Even if you got 20 females in there, so what? Guess what, bro? You're not married. You a single man.
Yeah.
Even if it comes out that you with 20 women, it don't matter.
That's what a sane person would do, though.
It don't matter. Let her keep the phone. Let her keep it, because what you don't want to do is be in a situation that it becomes an altercation, and now somebody can say that you've put hands on them.
I mean, well, that's what it did become. So,
and that's exactly what I'm saying. What you should have just let her keep the phone.
Okay,
call it a day.
Hindsight's always 20/20, and I'm pretty sure if we could go back, he'd have did it way differently. But the problem is he's where he is today.
We're here now, but then you go, but then you stupidly go do this interview, and I'm just like, bro, this is not the way you even handled it. If you wanted to just get your story out, you should have done something like come on a podcast like this, and it's very known from the jump, like, hey, we're going to talk about that. But before we talk about that, I want the world to know about Johnathan Majors, the person. Okay. Where am I from? You know what I'm saying? Do I live in a 2-parent household? Do I have siblings? What got me into acting? Okay. Where did I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Okay. And then maybe 20 minutes into the conversation, and let's call it a conversation where, okay, well, let's talk about what just happened. Okay. Give us your side of the story and let you talk. And then maybe I'll ask 3 or 4 questions from there, you know what I'm saying? And then we end it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I bring up like a club, a club shade. It's just like, bro, I'm not saying it needs to be that type of, that particular platform, but something similar to it.
Well, the thing is here, and just in fairness, because let's move on after this. But I know we talked about him appealing to the Europeans of the world and trying to gain their. But the thing is right now, because he hasn't been sentenced yet, he does need to change that opinion, though. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if the problem is he just didn't, to me, handle the interview well.
He made it worse.
So the plan was to ensure that he doesn't get jail time. I don't think
he's gonna get jail time.
I don't know.
I don't think he'll get jail time.
And maybe to a certain extent, this was his last attempt to try to salvage what he has of his career currently.
It was a career move, bro. Yeah. We're not. Let me tell you something. The justice system is not going to base their verdict on the jail time based on what kind of interviews or what he does now. That's all done in the courtroom. You know what I'm saying? A judge is only going to use what is in the court. Trust me. That is only what he's doing right now is trying to fight for his job. He's trying to fight for opportunities that he can possibly get. He didn't want to lose the Scottie Pippen joint.
I got you, but that's not necessarily true, because the only reason why I say that is because we're humans, bro. And it's hard to navigate the media world we live in now. Before, you'd have to pick up a newspaper.
Do you want to know why I say it don't matter? Because he's going to plead his case in the courtroom. Like whatever he pleads, whatever he does in an interview won't even matter, because you can say whatever you want when it comes time before sentencing to plead your case. You know what I'm saying? For a lesser sentence. So you can spew whatever he's doing this simply because he wants me and you to think of him or continue or hopefully fight for him as that good guy. That's why he did it. Okay. But you can't be calling this European white woman, you know what I'm saying, getting her to understand like that she's Coretta, and then you with somebody else within 3 to 4 months and you're calling her your Coretta. It seems like you have an identity crisis, dog.
I think that did him more harm than good, because like, why show up with somebody now? Like, just stay like, bro.
I'm not even mad that you did that. I'm not even mad that you did that. But if you're gonna do that, like play it for the relationship of where it is at that time. Okay. Let's not jump the gun to like, let it seem, at least make it seem authentic. We know what's up. Yeah. But let it seem authentic.
Okay. I got you. All right, cool. Here, let's move on, man.
Because he said it. Remember, he even said it. He was like, yeah, it's kind of fresh. Yeah. He said it's kind of fresh. He started tearing up. He did start tearing up. Kane the Conqueror started tearing up.
He was mad, man.
It's kind of fresh, but I think I found my Coretta. What?
Okay, man. Let's get off this. He did, dog. That was so corny, bro. That was so corny. No, he was all like, she's been my Coretta.
And then Megan Good over there looking at him. Well, y'all stop it, man.
She's been my Coretta.
She's been my Coretta.
Like a Coretta. Wow, bro.
I'm mad that he even talked the way he talked for real. He pissing me off. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I finally heard his voice for real, I'm like, bro, can we just act in real life? Like, let's use your acting voice.
Bro, just be you. Just be you, dog. Find a better version of you and then show up with him. Okay? Figure out which version of you is better and bring that one out. Matter of fact, we're going to roll through 3 different versions of you, and we're going to pick which one you're going to walk into the interview with, because that one wasn't it. All right? Let's just figure that out. Oh. Okay, let's move on, man. So, depending on whether or not you follow sports, a lot of people follow Stephen A, even people who like aren't too into sports. Stephen A. Smith. Yeah, so Stephen A. Smith, well-known, popular show host of First Take, ESPN's First Take, now co-hosted with Shannon Sharp, but he's been with the big names such as Skip Bayless, even brought up the ranks of Max Kellerman. Stephen A. Recently did a podcast responding to a Jason Whitlock from Blaze TV, who also used to be for ESPN, used to be a prominent sports writer, journalist, all that. And he went on a rant of epic proportions, one of which isn't normally seen from somebody who is in such a media space, right? Like we've seen people go off on, podcasts, depending on like what media venue you're in. But for someone of his caliber that is on the stage that he's on, the rant that he went on, and give him, props for at least calling, because he said that he called his bosses, told him, hey,
called his pastor.
Called his pastor.
Reverend A.R. Bernard.
I don't know. Did he say he called? I think he said he called his mom too, right?
He called his mama and his sisters.
Yeah, all his colleagues that may have to answer for what
that he name dropped.
That he name dropped.
Called his sister.
I'm about to let it rip.
Sisters.
You know what I'm saying?
Called his pastor. His pastor said, "Go out there and do it, dog."
Yeah. It was
Pastor A.R. Bernard. I can't believe he just.
It was shocking to say the least, right? Because again, like Stephen A. definitely, if he wants to address someone, he's going to address it, but he always does it in a very, I don't want to say professional, but we're just going to say that.
His
like
vernacular is exquisite.
He gonna mix the English language around to get his point across thoroughly without having to cuss you out. So I can tell you that this was unquestionably personal to him.
This is like this low-key broke the internet part 2. It wasn't it wasn't as high as the Cat Williams interview.
It's all I saw on Twitter that day.
But that's but he broke the internet for at least a couple hours.
It's all I saw on Twitter. And if you want to go see it, I'll definitely leave a link to it in the description.
And leave the Whitlock interview. I'm
gonna put the Whitlock one up too, right? Because you got to watch the Whitlock one to get context for why Stephen A. went off the way he went off. I will say this.
Whitlock made some points.
Here we go. We're going to discuss this, and this is where the deliberations really about to get into.
Whitlock made some points.
Because I already know the points.
Whitlock made some points.
I was going to say, I already know where he's going. Points. So, like, I hope we're still friends after this interview, right? Because I don't
think we're going to have any differences. I don't think so.
Okay,
I think the points he made is you can't really argue them.
We'll see. Okay. Here's my point, though. Right? Is this should also be a sort of perspective that you take when you watch Stephen A. to see that, like, yo, sometimes you just can't take the bait, because here's the reality of their careers, right? It is, after now seeing the way Stephen A. went off and now hearing Jamel Hill talk, Dan Le Batard, it is clear, like, Jason Whitlock is just grasping for anything to get him back into relevance.
That's like Shannon Sharp saying, like responding to us.
Yeah. Like, he's just grasping at anything to remain relevant.
Shannon, like, respond.
Please, Lord.
Respond.
If I got to start disrespecting people to get us on, I will, okay?
I promise you.
But it's likely not going to do any good.
It's not.
I'm just a person on the internet talking. But with that said, though, like, you can tell, like, I'm just going down his list. He's clearly trying to go this Candace Owens pariah. Like, he had always kind of been that, you know what I'm saying? Like, even when he was on, like, ESPN, he had this thing with Marcellus Wiley or whatever. Yeah. I forgot, because they were on Fox, I think. They had their own little thing, Speak for Yourself or something like that. I forgot what it's called. They had a little thing going, but it was still kind of sports related. But, with sports now, you do bring in political and social topics now. But you could just tell, bro, like, here's Stephen A. And I mean, he's just kind of here now, but I mean, he went like this.
Stephen A. is top 3 on television.
Like you don't get no better than Stephen A. Or you don't get no higher than what Stephen A. is. Yeah. You can't go any further than where he's got to. And then this is Jason Whitlock. Like,
Jason Whitlock he's shrimp.
Into,
he's shrimp.
Like, it might be a lot of people that either forgot who he was or never had any idea who he was. But for all intents and purposes, even Stephen A. alluded to it, at one time you were a great journalist. You know what I'm saying? But he said you opened your mouth and the world got to.
He said you can write and you should have stuck to writing.
Yeah, he said you're an amazing writer.
He said once they saw you
and heard you,
he called him a fat bastard. He referred to him as fat bastard.
That man said,
and said the moment people started setting eyes on you, your career went down. The moment you started talking, bro, your career went down.
And he ain't speaking nothing but facts though. So, bro, I feel like in that moment that, like.
But let's talk about Whitlock first. Let's talk about the points that Whitlock made.
Before we finish though, I feel like though in that moment where Stephen A. dropped that at the end, I do feel like that was the mic drop moment though. Like he clearly got all of his chest, but
Stephen A. It's not even that. I disagree with you.
I think he clapped him in that moment.
I disagree with you. I don't think Stephen A. clapped him. I think pause. But I think what Stephen A. did. I think what Stephen A. did was to the name dropping that he did in the following the next, 24 to 48 hours of everybody coming out, and even people who don't like Stephen A. for real. There are people that Stephen A. name dropped that he low-key has like internet beef with, or has, he's not on great standings with like he was in the past. And they were even coming out and saying like, yeah, Whitlock is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
There was even on what's the podcast that has the basketball player who kind of does nightcap with
Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah, Gilbert Arenas, his thing. It's called Arena something.
Yeah,
Arenas.
Just called Arenas.
Okay,
Gil's Arena.
There's a woman on there. I think she does WNBA or used to be a WNBA player, and she was just like, "Yeah, Whitlock, like he's an asshole." I say that to say that it is a general consensus. Nobody has this dude Whitlock's back, but Whitlock, in my opinion, made some pretty good points.
Okay.
There was one thing. The one thing we cannot argue is math. Anytime you're talking about statistics or an average, if an average is a decimal point with a number following behind it, that means that more than one thing took place.
Yeah.
For example, if the average speed of my vehicle is 25.5, right? Or I'll take that back, not the average speed, but if I make 25.5% of my shots, I can't do that, in one shot.
Yeah.
Right? Or if I average, 2.5 points in basketball, I can't average that with one shot.
Yeah.
Right? So Stephen A. Smith averaged, I think he averaged 1.5 points.
1.5 points.
A game.
Yeah.
Which was clear that you played more than one game.
I got you, but
right?
Okay.
You had to have played more than one game.
Got you.
Now here's the thing though, because Stephen A. has lied about this on 2 occasions now. 2 different stories.
I hear
on
you,
trying to defend this.
But before you go forward, here's my thing though. It's not that I'm even going to argue against that. My thing is there's a such thing as you can have 2 of the same principles, but they not be the same degree. So what I'm saying here is
embellishment
in his. So exactly right in his examples that he was giving, he compared them to something that Dan Rathers, the guy from, I don't know, Nightline or whoever, the guy who Dateline, right? He used to be on like TV.
I think he lied about a lot of.
Well, the example he gave was pretty damning. Okay, you got to go watch it. I'm not going to ruin Jason Whitlock's example, but the example that he gave, that he showed to try to justify his argument for Stephen A. was pretty damning on Dan Rather. The issue that I have is how far he took it for just a man simply trying to maintain some level of dignity, which is clearly what Stephen A. is doing, though. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's how far he took the grasping at straws and drawing lines to dots for a man that's literally just
I agree with you. It's very obvious. It's very obvious that
Stephen A. just didn't want to prove that he was not that great a basketball player.
Yeah, but it is very obvious that Jason Whitlock has a vendetta against Stephen A. That's obvious, because for you to do this kind of work, especially for somebody in Jason Whitlock's, like, where he's at in his life, for you to do this kind of work, it's very obvious that you have a vendetta for this man.
Yeah.
But I will say, though, Stephen A. Smith getting a scholarship to this college, it don't sound like he did to me. I was a walk-on at my school for a semester. You know what I'm saying? Doing track. I was a walk-on. But you ain't averaging no 1.5 points and they're giving you a scholarship at any university, at any college.
Yeah.
Especially for a sport like basketball where there's a limited amount of scholarships going toward that sport, especially for a tier 3, college. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So do I think that Stephen A. lied? Like, we're not talking about embellished.
Yeah.
Do I think he's lied about some things? Yes. And is there a certain level of degree, like you said, trying to show face or try to like keep up with, with the crowd around you because he's hanging with athletes all day. Yeah. So he don't want to seem like he just garbage.
Like he was trash.
And I'm sure he just wasn't trash, but you just also weren't that good.
Yeah.
So it's okay to just not be that good.
But again, in the same breath, he says, like in the examples he gave, Stephen A. was said, listen, if you compare me to like elite players, like I was nothing. But like if you put me on the court and 100 people was out there, I was in the top 5. Like that's what he said. He said, yo. But again, it's to the degree that he took it, that it really, like, because now where I'm at this point in wanting to be a part of the media space, having to understand that, like, yo, you got to watch everything.
You got to. And that's why I'm not mad at Stephen A, because I would hate for somebody to go and start combing through everything that I've said on this podcast and being like, but that's not exactly how it happened. And I do my best to like be completely honest. But is it easy while you up here with the light on and you on camera and you talking with your boys and you obviously like,
So you say
it was a game of 15 at the court, but I shot for 11. I might have made two threes.
Here's what I believe, right? I believe that these moments, and also there's also the possibility that a lot of times with people who like we're probably kind of decent, they always remember shit better than the way it happened. You know what I'm saying? And Stephen A dreams now.
In his mind, he said he made 17 threes in a row. In a row. He said 17 in a row.
That dream is played in his head.
He probably made 7. He probably got 7 in a row.
Let's be realistic, 7, right?
It's probably 7.
He added 1 to it.
It's probably 7.
It's the degree.
This nigga went home and said, I made 17 shots.
For 2 hours about this man's basketball career, dog. Come on, man. And try to say he was an industry plant. But hold on, wait. Before we go any further, I'm going to play some clips from it. And we're going to talk about each one of those clips as to why, before we even got really into the show, I was just like, okay, but here we go. Let's play the first clip.
If you care about truth, just let people know that it's fine. You can hate me. It's fine. But just ignore your hate for me for this moment. Ignore your love, your worship of Deion Sanders for this moment. And ask them to come in and just say, just hear Whitlock out. He's going to unpack some truths that will hopefully help you understand the world and what's going on in the world on a larger, grander, more nuanced level. And that when this show is over, you can go back to hating me and worshiping Deion Sanders. You can go back to lying and say, oh, Whitlock hates black people. I'm good with all of it. But just for this show, throw all your biases, throw all that feminine energy that's been built into you, put it on the side, and just enjoy, digest, analyze these truths that I'm about to unpack. And I know Stephen A. Smith, how could he's not important. He's just a sports talk show host. What are you doing? And I'm just, hear me out. Just hear me out today. And you can go back to Twitter and say nasty things about me. You can even go into comments and say nasty things about me. I'm good with all of it. But today I'm going to try to unpack some truths that will help you see the world more clearly. So just take these vitamins or this gold, this currency that I'm trying to give you, and you can go run off and do whatever you want with it. I'm not asking you to like me. I'm not even asking you to understand me. I understand the programming that you've gone through, and I understand what the world requires, that you all pretend like, oh, why Whitlock, we talking about this or that? Doesn't he know that we're in a war with white people and he should just be spreading white hate? And that's what being pro-black is. It's hating white people. You can go back to all of that.
Okay, so if you listen to that and wonder like why I cut that clip, because he didn't say much of anything, that's exactly why I cut that clip. That is in the first 3 to 5 minutes. I can't tell you exactly where it is. I think it's like in the first 3 minutes of his opening. Jason Whitlock is boring. And matter of fact, that's at 1.25 speed. I normally listen to pods, and if a person has like a slow tone,
slow cadence,
like cadence, I'll speed it up to 1.25, 1.5, right? Yeah. I tried to do it for 1.5 to even speed that slow shit up, but it was just off and it wasn't coming through correctly. But my point here is before I dissect what he says, is it's clear as to why he never like made it in media. He's boring as shit. You get what I'm saying? Like he's just regurgitating and repeating the same thing over and over. Bro, you said something in the beginning and you spent another 2 minutes saying that shit over and over again.
Re-explain.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's something that like even me as we're on a pod, like I'm actively aware of like when like I done said something 2 or 3 times, it's like, bro, like I now understand my perspective. Like move on. Like and the thing is he's saying a lot of nothing. But what I will say is this about a little tidbit of what he said in there. And isn't it funny to me? And it depends on where you exist now on the political or social spectrum of the way you see social issues. But you have, what I'm saying, the left and the right. liberal, conservative, all that, right? And it's amazing to me how we all have a different view of the way we see how people are programmed. Yeah. See, other than like the mega people or whatever, other than like that version of people, we don't believe, I should say we, because honestly, on the fiscal side, I'm pretty conservative, but on like the social side, I'm practically extremely liberal.
I'm not extremely liberal. I'm not.
Well, I shouldn't say extremely because that's
calm down.
Yeah. But I'm mostly liberal, right? Yeah, I just believe people should be able to do it.
Moderate. Just say you're moderate.
I'm a little more than moderate.
Okay.
But that's
you lean liberal.
Yeah, I lean liberal. Look,
because extreme liberal, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm starting to really cut it out. Cut the whole thing. Cut the whole thing.
Chill. Like y'all wild and
y'all about to piss me off.
I feel you.
You're about to lose my vote.
Extreme liberal is a hard pass for me.
Because they accept everything nowadays.
But here's the point. The point is it's just amazing to me, like, when you listen to conservative people talk, they'll tell you, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? You're like this because of social programming, like things that like they want you to believe and things that they constantly keep pushing on your face, talking points, such things like that. But then when you hear people from the left talk, left tend to think that it's the person. You get what I'm saying? They're like, sure, you can blame a little bit of upbringing, you know what I'm saying, being taught certain things from previous past history that is negative, but they believe that it's you. You get what I'm saying? It's just interesting whenever I hear a certain person who leans hard into their own political view, because it's really hard to get. Joe Rogan might be really one of the only few people like majorly in the space who kind of just tell it like exactly how you feel. Like he'll get on there, he'll cook a conservative, and he'll cook a liberal. Very rarely will you get like that in the media presence. But with that being said, though, I will say this. It is unquestionably and completely unfair to tell people all the time that like you are the way you are because of programming. Now, to make my argument perfectly clear, I'm not saying that you can't be swayed by things that you see, things that you hear, and things that you interpret. But what I am saying, though, is that's the United States model in general. Everything you buy is because you've been programmed to do that shit. Like you didn't wake up wanting Jordans. You've seen people wear Jordans. You've seen an advertisement. You've seen certain things. You get what I'm saying? Like every financial decision you make, you know what I'm saying, is based off of programming, right? You get what I'm saying? Like for you to sit there and say that like you, like everyone else has been programmed, you have no idea if the way that you think is because of programming as well. You don't have any idea the level of marketing that goes into America. So with that being said, I'm saying is we're all a product of programming to a certain degree. It's just how you decided to be programmed. It's how your brain decided to interpret the information that it took in. You can't say any one person is any more programmed than anybody else because, again, if you're a person who leans hard into everything on one side of the spectrum, then you're programmed to think that way. You see what I'm saying? Like if you can look at something, like I can look at something and be like, you know what, y'all bugging, like transgenders should be able to do what they want. And then see them on the others, then see the exact other side and say, well, I don't know, they should be competing in different sex sports.
There's a lot of things.
You know what I'm saying?
Mutilation is something I'm really starting to get into this whole like, bro, we're allowing.
Hold on, wait. Let's not go too far into that. Listen, I got you. Let's not make this political. But my point being is very few people can really sit in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like most people who I know, you know what I'm saying, they'll have the same talking points. If they're right, they have the same talking points that everybody has. And I'll be like, how do you agree with everything? You get what I'm saying? Like, there ain't nothing you disagree with, nothing at all. You get what I'm saying? Like, make it make sense. So with that being said, I'm just against already. I'm turned off because you've already started in a manner where you're being divisive. But to me, that's the play here. The play is
you have to realize, but you got to realize. Come on, put this in context now. You know, and we this is the first thing we talked about before we even got into the crux of all this. What Cat Williams did opened up Pandora's box for not anybody who feels like they have a vendetta towards somebody. This is not a time. Like the time is hot now to get it out there. Yeah. So we can, you know what I'm saying? So we can go trending. We can go viral and get the clicks. And I think what he did, it worked. And what the first thing you said in your opening, diatribe was that Stephen A. Smith should not have touched this. Stephen A. Smith, the fact that he went out there and called him a fat bastard, the fact that he used the B word on his platform, I have never heard him cuss. Yeah. Especially not like that.
Yeah, that was
I've never heard this. When I heard it, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I paused at that point and watched the Jason Whitlock situation so I could just find out what made this man mad.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, I think some of this is true because Stephen A. Smith, for him to even shed light to this, probably there's some truth to it. We discussed it. And just let me know, and we're so early in the year, that this might be a year where it's like, it's going to be a lot of clickbaits, bro. Well, this might be the year where everybody will start trying to like.
Yeah, I do believe that. But I don't know. And this is the reason why I say, I don't know if some of it may have been true. All of it could have been true, what Jason Whitlock was saying. Here's what I also know. I know that it was extremely personal because Stephen A. said, "Did you tell everybody you betrayed me?" We still don't even know what that was. He didn't mention what the betrayal was. I have no idea what Stephen A. is talking about. But that's the point, right? Like if you feel like somebody betrayed you,
Stephen A. is right. Stephen A. has not said this man's name.
You get to a point where, like, I mean, there comes a point where, how can I put it, that there's somebody who's gonna get you out of character, depending on the egregiousness of the actions that they caused against you. That's why I'm saying I don't know what Jason Whitlock did, but I know that if he sees Stephen A. in the street, he getting mopped, like, or at least he gonna try to mop him up and down the block.
I don't think Stephen A. gonna do nothing.
I don't know, because that shit felt real personal.
Jason Whitlock suing your ass.
Huh?
So
that's true.
So I don't think Stephen A. I don't think Stephen. Am I lying?
No.
Jason Whitlock, it will sue your ass.
That's true.
And we'll get on his platform the next day. Matter of fact, he will get on there bruised, bleeding, and everything.
Yeah.
Before taking a shower.
Hey,
cut the camera on. Let's go right now.
Matter of fact, and that was another point I was gonna make. Dog, he looked bad.
He looked real bad. He got on there the second time to do his response. He was sick, blowing his nose. He blew his nose mid. I was like, bro,
bro,
we don't even do this. We don't even do this on the Great Deliberators.
we gonna pause if you get to sneezing and blowing your nose. That's what I'm saying, dog. There's no rules like with this thing.
No,
dog.
I'm in my house on my dining table recording this. Yours is worse. This looked real bad, dog. This is not okay.
No, I'm telling you.
He was wearing some Cisco dragon, like this 6th grade dragon shirt.
I didn't even watch that one. I ain't paying no attention.
He was like sniffling.
But yeah, I was looking at him, man.
Talking about I'm sick. I'm like, bro, if you sick, it's a podcast. You can get healthy for the day. You can take care of yourself today.
Nah, you got to get it while it's hot, man.
And then he said, "Oh, this is gonna be a part 2, so I'm gonna record this. We're gonna break it up, and then we'll drop something else on Monday. So you gonna be sick still on Monday? You go like, come on."
Sneezing all on the camera. Okay. Tripping. All right, let me play the next clip that I had beef with. I think he made some point. I mean, he said something.
Like this guy.
I don't know.
That is the pattern that is played out that Cat Williams is talking about. That now they do it in comedy, and now I'm saying they've even done it in the sports media. And there's a reason they've done it in the sports media. Because the sports media is the place. It's now the only gathering spot on TV where all of America comes together and watches these sporting events and talks about these sporting events. And so now it's critically important to have people in place who are willing to promote whatever the regime wants promoted, who are willing to if the regime decides like, hey, we're tired of the patriarchy. We're tired of masculine men. We want a more feminized version of men. Well, how do you feminize men? How do you get them to accept going against their natural instincts? How do you get them to normalize tapping into their emotions constantly like a woman? How do you get them to abandon reason and logic and see manliness and masculinity as a willingness to publicly display their feminine emotion at any time? So you take someone like Stephen A. Smith, an actor, an exaggerator, perhaps a pathological liar, and you establish him as the voice and the face of the sports media.
All right, say that again.
I was gonna say, is he supposed to be the face of masculine, sports broadcasters?
Yeah, because when I think of very masculine people, Jason Whitlock is one of them.
You're not it, bro. You not it.
What? He is the absolute first person that pops up.
This dude. And my thing is, you over here talking about Stephen A. being a plant. No. When you was given your opportunity, why didn't you succeed? You moved to Fox. You was doing the show with Marcellus Wiley. Why didn't you, succeed?
The machine is against him.
So it sounds like, bro,
doesn't want him to succeed, bro. Listen, this is where.
Man, get out of here.
This is where conspiracy theorists or people like him lose me, because even when you talk about people like Candace Owens, see, they'll take a real world example and then they'll generalize it to a point to where, and it's easy for people to feed into it, because we are also in the golden era where people are very skeptical about everything, right?
100%.
So like they can now lean into it heavily and build platforms on that, because you could just sit up here and be all like, well, why do you think they got a sports media person? It doesn't make sense to you, right? Because how would sports make sense? But see, here's what you don't know, right? Like, now everyone watches sports. Even, gay people love football.
Yeah.
Now gay people watching basketball.
And then now we, they're trying to change you into a feminine person from sports. But then he tried to piggyback off of Cat Williams and said, this is what Cat Williams is talking about. No. Cat Williams would have said it. That's what he was talking about. He name dropped everybody.
Bro,
he would have said Stephen A. Smith. He don't care about Stephen A. Smith, bro. If you got something to say, then you just say it. If you want to say this to piggyback off of what Cat Williams did and clout chase, I have no problem with that. Make your money.
Yeah.
But dog, you doing too much at this point. You doing way too much at this point.
Hold on. I'm gonna make my point further here. Here in front of y'all, what y'all are seeing right now is data from Statista.com of the top running television shows for 2023. Now, I'm going to read off all 10 of these here real quick, and y'all tell me a common theme here. NFL Sunday Night Football, Yellowstone, NFL Monday Night Football, NCIS, FBI, NFL Thursday Night Football, Young Sheldon, Chicago, Blue Bloods, and Ghost. Now, mind you, I didn't know what Ghost was. I looked it up just to do a quick thing real quick. The protagonist is a heterosexual male with a clear girlfriend or a romantic partner that is a woman. So the point I'm trying to make here is there is no media. Hold on, wait, let me get back to the main page here real quick. There is no media that we consume more than television, right?
Yeah.
And yet the top 10 shows, at least 9 of them are male, masculine, dominated like platforms.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's not that people can't make great points. It's just that when you actually really dig a little deep, do just a tad, just one Google search. You get what I'm saying? You realize that a lot of the arguments don't really hold weight. Let me do you one even better. Let me just try this little conspiracy thing. What if, like you was making an example, what if Jason Whitlock is a plant? What if he don't want you to become act a little more softer? What if they do want you just to be some hard rock shell? Go talk to your grandparents. Go talk to your grandmamas and aunts and people that had to deal with men who just went to work and came home and was just some hard shell and didn't feel comfortable enough to talk to their woman about emotional things. Like, go actually speak to these people and see how their marriage worked out.
Look at Jason Whitlock and see how it worked out for him.
Like, bro.
If you the shining example, because it don't...
I'm just saying.
You blowing your nose on camera, dog.
Yo.
You blowing your nose on camera, dog, and you was running a show at ESPN and FS1. And neither one of us have ever run a show up there. And I hate coming up here sick, doing any kind of sniffles.
Yo.
The last thing I'm going to do is blow my nose. I've even told this man, hey, pause it real quick, because I got to do blah.
Yo.
So that's just what it is. The fact that you don't have that ability to just hit the pause button, go do your thing and come back is a problem.
It's just crazy to me because...
Stephen A. Smith does it, by the way. I've watched his podcast where he will be making a point and it just like cuts.
Yep.
And it's like he kept going, but you can tell there was an obvious break in the situation.
He had to do something. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? The point is there's certain things that you just don't put into your production. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's seeming very amateur over there. But that ain't the point. The point is it's just that, like, you see how quickly, like, someone could just make a random point and it just seemed like something good to hear. You get what I'm saying? And that isn't to say that conspiracies aren't real.
The two people that confirmed it for me was Jamel Hill. I got a lot of respect for Jamel Hill.
Mm-hmm. She's gonna keep it real.
Jamel Hill put her career on the line for what she feels is real.
Yeah.
Jamel Hill does. If Jamel Hill come out here and tell me something negative about Stephen A. Smith, I don't need to Google it.
Yeah.
I swear to you, I don't need to Google it. Mm-hmm. She is the Coretta. She is the Coretta of sports media. I believe everything she says. She hold it down. 100. One other person that I respect, Dan Le Batard.
Yeah.
He holds it down too.
And he left ESPN because he didn't agree with the way things were going.
That's one who, if y'all don't know who Dan Le Batard, and tell me if I'm mistaken, he did a show with his dad. Mm-hmm. He had a show with his dad where he would go out there and maybe do a couple of jokes. It was only like 15, 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
But it was
I think it was a 30-minute segment.
Okay, it was based on, they did it in Miami. Mm-hmm. It was great. It was a great show.
Yeah. It was funny.
And him and Stephen A. Smith don't really or did not get along for the longest. They had a huge falling out. Mm-hmm. And he even came out and said, Stephen A. Smith told no lies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, told no lies.
Zero.
Jamel Hill said that she probably would have worse things to say if she were to say it. But she said that she won't, get into the crux of it, except for the fact that what Stephen A. Smith said was true. And she has her own issues with Whitlock, and she'll leave it at that. She's not going to go into the details. Ultimately, what she's saying is that there's people in the black community, and she said this out of her mouth, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that people in the black community who work in that particular business all have a problem with Whitlock. But because they want to bury this man in front of their bosses or others and still want him to have success, they just know it to be a problem and leave it alone.
Yeah.
That just lets you know, like, bro, the people who look like you still cutting for you, even though you ain't cutting for them the way that they cutting for you.
Wild.
It's problematic. And then yet you get on this thing and you get on this platform and you still trying to bury the same people who at any point in time could bury you.
Yeah.
There's people whose careers have already been buried and they still not burying you, i.e. Jamel Hill.
Yeah.
Her career is not even half of what it should be. And she's still not burying you for clout at the prime opportunity to get some clout.
Because she definitely could have
she could have said some things and probably got some clout off of this.
Yeah. And she definitely isn't going to be held back on her platform from saying what she would want to say about you. I mean, albeit I don't know if she would go that ham the way Stephen A. did, but she could definitely.
I think that she could if she wanted to.
Think she could? Okay.
I think she could if she wanted to.
But to close it out here, man, the last thing that Jason Whitlock goes off on, I didn't take a clip from it, but the last thing that he closes out on, man, is he says something about he clowns Ryan Clark. There's a moment on TV where Ryan Clark was he came to tears about a moment where some white lady in a drive-thru pulled up and called her son the N-word, right? And he started crying on TV. And I think it was either on College Game Day or it was an NFL show because Randy Moss was on there. It was another person, I think Herb Street. Point is they all came to tears. And don't get me wrong here. I would tell you that I don't think that if I ever truly make it, that y'all probably ever gonna see me shed tears on here unless I lose someone. You know what I'm saying? Like i.e. my wife. Talking about it would obviously get me choked up, right? Given the circumstance, losing a child, something.
But you never know.
But again, you never know, right? But given the situation that Ryan Clark went through, I doubt y'all would ever see me shed tears about it. But what I will say is this, man, and this is where, like me, I've always been a highly empathetic person, and I always try to share this. Is again, you know what I'm saying, whether or not grown men should be crying on TV, that's your prerogative. I don't care much how you feel, but I want y'all to understand something, man. Is that Ryan Clark, Randy Moss, these guys played arguably the most brutal sport in the world. You get what I'm saying? Like every day they had to get up, put on pads, and go hit somebody.
You want to talk about somebody trying to be masculine? Like
took some of the most physical punishment.
Ryan Clark was a thumper.
Some of the most physical punishment anybody go through.
He was constantly on ESPN Top 10 for hitting somebody.
And it hurt to hit people that hard. You get what I'm saying? Like, it hurts. Like, sure, in that moment, like, your adrenaline's running. The next day, you feel that.
Feeling it.
You feel it. Everything hurt from the toe to the neck. Like, you was jacked up. And here's a man trying to call this man soft who ain't never done anything like that in his life. Ain't never even been remotely close to doing anything that physical, you know what I'm saying, going through that physical type of punishment. And here this man.
He's having a problem dealing with a cold on camera.
Bro.
He's having a problem dealing with a cold on camera.
Are you dead ass?
And
this is what the world has come to, right? Like, I'm gonna pull some conservative shit. This is what the world has come to.
He's gonna tell you he's the man of all men on, you know, as far as black sports media, and because, you know what I'm saying, he hasn't sold out and he's not a plant.
Are you killing me?
You need to eat some more plants, big dog. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. It's really
I
just,
need to eat some more plants,
bro. It's upsetting. It's really upsetting to see that, like, people who look like us just get on TV and just show their ass for clout, bro.
It's crazy.
Like Cat Williams is not you. You are not Cat Williams. What Cat Williams did, he had multiple people get on camera and lie on his name repeatedly.
Yes.
Repeatedly lie on his name. Had stolen material which he proved stole from him. Even if that's like Steve Harvey doing something in his life that Cat Williams knows about is wrong, and then going on a long soliloquy about what Steve Harvey did was wrong. Bro, that's Steve Harvey. Who cares?
No.
It's not you, so who cares? If Stephen A. Smith lied about this or lied about that, okay, cool. You saw what happened to Meek Mill. If it ain't your business, shut up.
Bro.
Because your career might get bodied because of it. Leave it alone.
The man lied about his basketball career. Albeit, don't get me wrong, sure. But he turned it into lying about COVID and all this other stuff. And again, you can believe what you want to believe. But the point I'm making here is this is what we've come to now. But
what's obviously true, what we have proven since that moment by multiple sources who put their name on it. They got on camera and put their name on it. That you are a piece of shit.
Dirtbag.
They do not like you in that community. They do not like you in that circle.
Yeah.
So therefore, bro, you might as well just leave it alone. If Stephen A. Smith is that guy, let somebody else tell it. You give somebody else that information, let them connect the dots, and you just be a co-author of the information.
Yeah.
Because you saying it, you being the person speaking on the subject ain't helping. Not everybody just gonna throw that information away and it all could be true.
I'm just saying. But before we get up out of here, before we finish this out, I do want to pull up one last thing here. I just want to drop this definition here for you. What that means is that doesn't mean that whenever you hear something, you should think the opposite, right? Because what you're being showed is not actually true. What it means is you hear it, you use empirical data that you use every day in your life, and you see what's going on in the world, and then you form your own thought. Like, sure, he said that. And if you just listen to Jason Whitlock in a vacuum, of course he's making sense, right? Like in a vacuum, you can triangulate and make anything connect, right? That's what great writers do. You ever seen the movie Da Vinci Code? If you watch the Da Vinci Code, you'd believe all that shit is true. Because that's what great people do. That's what great writers do. That's what great authors and artists.
True, national treasure. I still till today think that stuff is true.
Bro, listen to me. Hey, yo, National Treasure, when I was a kid, I was like, yo, this is the greatest shit I ever seen in my life. Like, shout out to Jerry Bruckheimer, bro. He done Pirates of the Caribbean and National Treasure. This man batting 2-0 out here. Yeah. But again, you know what I'm saying? That's if you're a movie buff. If you ain't a movie buff, you probably don't even know what I'm talking about. But the point here is dog, listen to me. I ain't saying conspiracies aren't real. There's time and time again where conspiracies are proven real. But y'all got to start using y'all head, man. I don't know how this man even still has a platform. The only way you get a platform like this is if people are obviously still listening to you, man. But it's just crazy to me that people will listen to him and they don't question what the hell he's saying. And then you got this man on TV, well, not TV, on his pod.
It's the same people who listen to Fox News at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Wow. People do that? Bro, that's crazy.
Bro, have you ever listened to Fox News after 11 o'clock?
Nah, man, I'm sleeping.
Bro, it's crazy.
It's the wild.
It's crazy. As a matter of fact, it's entertaining.
It's entertaining.
It's entertaining. It's entertaining.
Hey, it's this lady on TikTok who her daily segments are, she always starts out, here are 5 totally real things that were said on Fox News yesterday. And like she just goes through like shit that's obviously just bonkers for you to believe.
Nothing but entertainment, bro.
Yeah, that's like her shtick. Like, here are 5 totally real things that were said on Fox News yesterday. And like she'll show the clips and it'd be like, yo, how do y'all do this, bro?
And they don't care, bro.
No shame, dog.
They don't care.
No shame. Okay, man, we taking up enough of y'all time, man. If you made it this far, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Please make sure you hit that like. Please like,
comment,
and subscribe, please, man. We finally at 100 subscribers, man.
100 and what?
101.
101. Look, I didn't tell you this. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. Put your if you are a subscriber, like this video.
Yeah.
Like this video.
This one specifically.
Put your Cash App in the comments.
Ooh.
Put your Cash App in the comments. My boy Raph is just going to pull up on me next week. Well, I won't be here next week. I'm going to be in Reno, Nevada, snowboarding. Black man snowboarding. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But the next time we do our podcast, which will be in 2 weeks more than likely, I will go ahead and send said individual $100 live from the show. And I mean that wholeheartedly. You are hearing it from me.
Yo, I'm about to put this on TikTok, Instagram.
I'm telling you now, go to the page. You have to be a subscriber. You have to have liked this episode, and your Cash App needs to be in the comments. He will take a screenshot. He will send it to me. And during the show, I will say your Cash App. I will send it, and we will put it on camera so everybody knows we not faking it over here. You know what I'm saying? It's for real, and you will get your $100.
Oh, you know what? I'm only gonna do it if they made it this far. I ain't gonna put that on TikTok. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't put it on TikTok.
Yeah. If you made it this far, you get the $100.
This is for the real ones. But you can make a TikTok after we paid them.
Yeah, after we paid
to let them know. Hey, at 200.
Yeah,
I might do 200. I might wait to 250.
Yo, hey, my nigga,
I might do 250.
Money,
I might do 250. 250?
Hey, 250?
250?
Yo,
that should be the next milestone.
Hey, yo, come get your king, dog.
250.
Hey, come get your king.
250.
Hey, if it's a shawty, hey, we gonna get you on here one of these days, man.
But yes,
come talk to your boy. My man got money.
Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you like it and leave it in the comments.
Yeah.
Once we verify that you're a subscriber and you like the video, if you commented with your Cash App, your name is in the drawing.
For sure.
And he's just gonna pull it out, and that's it. Pause. You know what I'm saying? That's it, and that's what we'll call it a day. You'll get your $100 right here from the show.
Shout out to my guy, man. Yo,
that's it. I got you, man.
No, come on,
We're gonna turn up.
We're gonna turn up this year, baby. This the year, okay? With that being said, man, as always, we appreciate y'all. Till next time.